I don't really know what to say. I'm a bit scatterbrained today, but I'm actually really looking forward to this match. My second time playing Tony. Last time he absolutely destroyed me. So honestly, I would like to make it to round 3. Maybe he needs to answer some questions. I don't know if I can squeeze out a win here. That's nice, but yeah, I'm just here to play today.
Yeah, like we said, we played before. It was actually, I believe, both our debut match. It was our debut match. It was against each other, and I came out on top. Luis kind of had some bad luck in that match, and I've seen some of his other matches, and he's a tougher opponent than he seems to think he is. So, I'm not going to take him lightly, but he's a faction mate, so whoever wins, hopefully they just keep on running. So let's have some fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Multiplex Movie Warzone. We are here once again in the Summer Series Tournament. We have got the number 6 seed, Tony Durso, going up against the number 27 seed, Luis Bus. I don't know if you know this, Dylan, because they didn't say it at all, but this is a rematch. These guys have played each other before. You probably missed it. It was very subtly referenced in their promos. But yeah, like they alluded to, they played before. Tony ended up winning. Luis, if I remember correctly, ended up spinning the slice, which, thank God, is no longer a thing. Thoughts on the match we're about to see, Dylan?
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see just how these guys have improved since they last fought. Now that they've got more matches under their belts, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, without further ado, we will bring in our competitors and we will get going with round number 1. Round number 1 is going to work like this. You'll get 8 different questions in 8 different categories in the realm of general movies. If you get a question right, you will get a point. If you get a question wrong, you will not get a point. You will have approximately 15 or so seconds to write your answer down on your whiteboard. If you manage to get all 8 questions correct, you will be issued a bonus question, also worth 1 point. Reminder to both competitors that you have 3 repeats and a challenge to use throughout the match. Any questions before we get going?
No, sir.
Good luck, Luis.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, then we will get going with your first question in the category of the 1970s. The Exorcist opens in what Middle Eastern country? I'm going to shock everyone when I say this. I have not seen this movie.
Oh, man. This is one of my favorites. I love this movie so much.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was going to say that adds up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Tony.
I said Iraq.
And Luis.
I know it's wrong. Egypt.
Iraq is correct. Tony striking the first blood.
All right, so your next question comes in Oscars. Who won Best Director for films released in 1992?
A year we both, of course, were both very alive for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I remember it fondly. I'd go to the soda shop. You could get a Coke for a nickel. I think Tony really hates me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Luis.
Clint Eastwood.
And Tony.
Clint Eastwood. And it wasn't a nickel then.
Both are correct as we get to your third question in the category of animated movies. What type of animal does Steve Carrell voice in Over the Hedge?
I'm not a fan of this film. I'm sorry.
I'll give a pass to any animated film that has a soundtrack that consists primarily of songs by Ben Folds. I liked it as a kid. I had the DVD game. 5.
Oh my god.
4.
I think I played that too.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Tony.
I said raccoon.
And Luis.
I erased raccoon and I said badger.
Both incorrect. We're looking for a squirrel.
Huh.
Squirrel. He likes cookies. It's a bad film.
So your next question comes in the category of crime. Why do the two brothers rob banks to get money in Hell or High Water?
I appreciate the writer clearly adding the words "to get money" so that the answer that a competitor put could not be "to get money." What other reason do you rob a bank for besides the thrill of it?
These are things you have to remember as a writer.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Luis.
Yeah, no clue. No.
And Tony?
I said to save their family's property, specifically
Yeah,
their mom.
we can absolutely accept that, to save their family's ranch, specifically. As we get to your next question, the category of recent releases. Jon Bernthal, Tony Goldwyn, and Dylan McDermott have supporting roles in what 2021 biopic? Yeah, I really like Hell or High Water. I haven't seen it in a bit, but Ben Foster especially is phenomenal in that movie.
I remember liking it just a little bit less on rewatch because I watched it with my brother and my dad, and I hyped it up way too much for him.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Tony.
King Richard.
And Luis.
Shit, I said respect. I don't know.
King Richard is correct.
All right, so your next question comes in the category of comedy. At what type of location does David Huxley work at in Bringing Up Baby?
I like this movie a lot.
I haven't seen this one. I'm sorry.
I've seen this twice, which, like, for someone like me who doesn't watch a ton of classics, like, the fact that I've seen it more than once is astonishing.
Oh, repeat?
Yeah, please.
All right, so that is Luis's first repeat. In the category of comedy, at what type of location does David Huxley work at in Bringing Up Baby?
You know, it's like a just really charming, fun comedy. There's a leopard. It's like, it's got everything you could ask for. 5,
It's a great
4,
match.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Luis.
Museum.
And Tony.
Museum.
Museum is correct. As we get into your penultimate question, which will come in the category of actors and actresses. Who appears in the films Something Wild, Working Girl, and Body Double?
You know, I actually have a body double. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yeah.
I was gonna guess. I was gonna guess the kid who played Peter Pan in Once Upon a Time, or Newt from the Maze Runner films. 5, 4, or Caleb Boatman. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Tony.
I think it's wrong. I said Sigourney Weaver.
And Luis.
Melanie Griffiths.
That is incorrect. Unfortunately, it's Melanie Griffith. No S. So we do not take it, unfortunately.
So your final question of the night in round one will be scores and soundtracks. Yes. Amy Mann performed a cover of what song over the opening credits to Magnolia?
You know, there's one person who's well known in this community who I'm sure is very happy we're asking this question. The man's name is Cody Newberry. It's his favorite film. He loves Paul Thomas Anderson. He loves movies about nothing. He loves frogs falling from the sky. 5, 4. Don't fire me. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Luis.
Yeah, it's going really bad. I don't know.
And Tony.
I said respect.
That is incorrect. We're looking for 1. 1 is the correct answer. So at the end of round number 1, I have Tony at 5, Luis at 2. Is that what you have, Dylan?
Yes.
All right, then we will get into round number 2. Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is our wheel round. We will bring up the lovely wheel from wheeltheside.com. Our wheel has 8 different categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Our competitor in the lead, in this case, Tony, will get to choose whether he would like to spin first or defer. Whichever player spins, if they like what they get on their first spin, they can keep it, or they can spin again unless they land on opponent's choice. Whatever category they end up with, they will be issued 5 questions each worth 2 points apiece, or you can go to multiple choice for 1 point. But reminder, stealing is available, so if you miss, your opponent does have the chance to take those points and add them to their total. The categories on the wheel today are post-2000 Amir Khan, Edgar Wright, crime, comedy, Audrey Hepburn, horror, 2010s and 1990s, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. So with that, Tony, would you like to spin first or defer?
I will defer to Luis.
All right, then, Luis, this is your first spin.
Yeah.
You land on the 1990s. Would you like to keep that or spin again?
I'll risk a respin.
All right, spinning again. Whatever you land on, you are stuck with. And you land on opponent's choice.
Of course I do.
Tony, do you need a reminder of the categories, or do you know what you are giving Luis here?
Let's see. Why don't we give him Audrey Hepburn?
All right. Dylan, would you like to read the Audrey Hepburn questions to Luis?
Sure. All right, Luis, your first question in Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
Who plays photographer Irving Radovich in Roman Holiday?
Give me a multiple, please.
All right, your options are A, Eddie Albert, B, George Peppard, C, Russ Tamblyn, or D, Anthony Quinn.
And Luis, can we just get your one hand up? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Let's say B.
B is incorrect, so Tony, for the 1 point steal, is it A, Eddie Albert, B, George Peppard, C, Russ Tamblyn, or D, Anthony Quinn?
That would be A.
That is correct for 1 point. How is Carlino murdered in Wait Until Dark?
Multiple choice once again.
All right, your options are A, stabbed, B, suffocated, C, run over, or D, drowned.
Suffocated.
That is incorrect. Tony, for the 1 point steal, is it A, stabbed, B, suffocated, C, run over, or D, drowned?
Stabbed?
That is also incorrect. We were looking for C, run over. What is the profession of the title character's father in Sabrina?
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, a chef, B, a butler, C, a gardener, or D, a chauffeur.
Gardener.
That is incorrect. So, Tony, for the 1 point steal, is it A, a chef, B, a butler, C, a gardener, or D, a chauffeur?
D.
D is correct for 1 point. Who directed Robin and Marion?
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Stanley Donen, B, Peter Bogdanovich, C, Richard Lester, or D, Richard Queen.
C.
C is correct for 1 point.
Oh.
And Luis, can we just get your hand up again? Thank you.
Yeah.
So your final question.
Sorry.
So your final question in this category. What is Rick dressed up as when he arrives at the costume party in Paris when it sizzles?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, a cowboy, B, a ringleader, C, a sailor, or D, a wizard?
Sailor.
That is incorrect. Tony, for the 1 point steal, is it A, a cowboy, B, a ringleader, C, a sailor, or D, a wizard?
I'll say cowboy.
And that is correct for the 1 point steal.
All right. So at the end of Luis's spin, I himself, unfortunately, only getting 1 point, bringing himself up to 3. Tony getting a few steals, getting himself up to 8. Is that what you have, Dylan?
Yes.
All right. Then we'll bring back up the wheel for Tony's first spin. And he will also land on opponent's choice. Luis, do you need to hear the categories again, or do you know what you would like to give him?
I'll give him Edgar Wright.
Alrighty, then I made the right decision having Dylan read the Hepburn questions. I get to read Edgar Wright questions. I'm so happy. Tony, are you ready for your questions in the category of Edgar Wright?
Yep.
All right, your first question. What emotional power does Scott earn during the final fight on his second life in Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Self-respect.
That is correct for 2 points. In Baby Driver, what is Buddy's real first name?
I'll need multiple choice on that one.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, Leon, B, Mark, C, Jason, or D, Steven.
Say Mark.
That is incorrect. Luis, for the 1 point steal, is it A, Leon, B, Mark, C, Jason, or D, Steven?
Jason?
That is correct for a 1 point steal. In The World's End, what is the name of the bar that the group goes to that is having a school dance?
Yeah, I'm going to need multiple choice on that one.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, the mermaid, B, the beehive, C, the two-headed dog, or D, the king's head.
The beehive?
That is incorrect. Luis, for the 1 point steal, is it A, the mermaid, B, the beehive, C, the two-headed dog, or D, the king's head?
The mermaid.
That is correct for another 1 point steal.
I was between those two.
Such a good scene. Your fourth question. Who plays Lindsay, the old man who Ellie repeatedly interacts with at the bar in Last Night in Soho?
Terrence Stamp.
That's correct for 2 points. And your final question. What is the profession of Leslie Tiller in Hot Fuzz?
She has a flower shop.
That is correct for 2 points. So at the end of round number 2, I have Tony at 14, Luis at 5. Is that what you have, Dylan?
Yep.
All right, then we will get into round number 3. Round number 3 is going to work like this. It is our pick your poison round. Our competitors are going to get to choose what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and 4 point questions. The competitors will then answer questions until one of them has either been mathematically eliminated or we are out of questions. The categories that they can choose from today are the 2010s, Oscars, directors, musicals, comedy, animation, horror, and actors and actresses. So we will let our competitors pick what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and 4 point questions, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. Our competitors have had the chance to choose what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and 4 point questions. Tony has chosen his 1 in the 2010s, his 2 in directors, his 3 in actors and actresses, and his 4 in Oscars, whereas Luis has chosen his 1 in directors, his 2 in actors and actresses, his 3 in horror, and his 4 in 2010s. We'll start with Luis as he is behind, and Dylan will be asking Luis his questions because I asked them in round 2.
I asked Luis's questions in round 2.
Oh, that's right. That's totally right. You're entirely correct. I will be asking Luis's question. It was Edgar Wright was his strength that I got.
That's all right. Yeah.
Luis, I will be asking you your questions in round number 3, starting with your 1 point question in the category of directors. Who directed Network and 12 Angry Men?
Sidney Lumet.
That's correct for 1 point. And I believe you do have to hit all 3 of your questions from here on out to avoid the TKO. So your 2 point question in the category of actors and actresses. Who appears in the films Caddyshack, Tootsie, and the 2000 version of Charlie's Angels?
Bill Murray.
That's correct for 2 points. So we will go to your 3 point question in the category of horror. What 2010s horror film is about a family who gets together to celebrate a wedding anniversary only to have the party besieged by masked killers?
You're next.
That is correct for 3 points with zero hesitation. And we will still stick with Luis for his 4-point question in the 2010s. If he hits this, he will send it back to Tony. Your question. B.D. Wong plays an excessive gambler who is swindled out of all of his money at a football game in which 2010s crime film? Five, four.
Repeat, please.
All right, you have one repeat left. B.D. Wong plays an excessive gambler who is swindled out of all of his money at a football game in which 2010s crime film?
I just guess something Marshall. I don't know.
And your winner by way of technical knockout, Tony Durso. We were looking for focus. Focus was
Oh shit, that one. All right.
Question. So with that, we will get into post-match interviews, starting with our unfortunate second place finisher, Luis. Luis, you put up a hell of a fight. Round 3, you did your best to stay in it, but you spun a category that only Tony and Andrew Barr like, and Audrey Hepburn. Luckily, you were able to make your way back in it when Tony got Edgar Wright and managed to get a few key steals. But how are you feeling after that?
I didn't really have much expectations. I did not have the time to prepare that I would have liked due to, live stuff, unfortunately. So that sucked. So I didn't really have the highest of hopes for this match. In round 1, my confidence was a bit down, and the Melanie Griffith thing really annoyed me for a couple of questions. And then I maybe should have stuck with 90s, but hindsight is 2020, and in the end Tony won. That's a win for Fun DMC, so congrats to him. Really like the guy, so I'll be back at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, we will say goodbye to Luis, and we will bring in our winner for today, Tony Durso. Tony, you played a fantastic match. It looked for a while like you were headed for the knockout, and then just Edgar Wright didn't necessarily go your way, but still some great pulls in that category. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Like you said, not too many people are all that up on Audrey Hepburn movies. So, Louis, just like the last match, Luis got a tough go of it, kind of thing, where, Edgar Wright's filmography is fairly small. So it's one that I've happened to have kept up on. So it was just, just luck of the draw. Luis is a great player, great person. He'll be back. So, but yeah, I'm feeling good. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, you are now moving on to round 2 of the tournament. I cannot tell you exactly who you are playing, but I can tell you that you will be playing the winner of the 11 seed versus the 22 seed. And those people I'm really bad at this part. I think you're playing the winner of Anthony versus Nazario. Yeah, you will be playing the winner of Anthony Tisdall v. Nazario. Thoughts on both of those players if you may end up facing them in the next round?
Well, Anthony, another Fun DMC person, so obviously, I'm not a big fan of playing people in my own faction, but, I'd rather see him win. So, but and Nazario's a good player. I played him in that one-day tournament last year, and he knocked me out. So yeah, so I got my hands full no matter what. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, with that being said, we will say goodbye to Tony, and we will go to Dylan for final thoughts on the desk.
Yeah, it was a great match. I mean, look, it was sad. It was a little sad to see our Luis get some like bad luck in round two. It's happened to all of us. We look forward to seeing him back because he's a very, very entertaining competitor. And yeah, Tony just played great. So looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Well, with that being said, we will say goodbye. So I have been Cameron Holzman, and on behalf of Dylan Van Tony Durso, Luis Buss, everyone else here at Movie Warzone, thank you all for watching. Have a great whatever time of the day it is you're watching this video.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Bye-bye.